Hello from MOSTAR. The morning in MOSTAR is unusually quiet. The tourists haven't got up yet, nor did restaurants and souvenir shops open. My advice is to take a tour of the old bridge at this time to avoid the crowd. And we are on the old bridge. The view of the old part of the city and the crystal clear water of the river Neretva is fantastic. The most beautiful view of the bridge is from the river bank, where we have a great view of a young guy jumping into the cold Neretva river. And a few tourists are already here to make some photos of the jumps. Jumping from the old bridge is very important part of the city's tradition. Wow, this was great! The old bridge is the center of all events in the city. It is a place where the whole life of the city begins. I got on the boat. Let me introduce you to this beautiful river. It's called Neretva. It is one of the most beautiful and largest rivers in this part of Europe. It is 225 kilometers long, flows through many cities, and the largest city through which it flows is MOSTAR. You can swim, although the water is quite cold, but please don't swim on the 1st and the 2nd of August. It is an old legend which says that the river makes a strange noise, strange sounds, and calls the victims. They say it is summoning underwater creatures who gather to choose a victim. There is also a legend about a strange man who came in some ancient times when MOSTAR was a very small town and took a swim in the river on August the 2nd. No one knew his name or where he came from. He talked to the locals, he joked with them, and no one noticed that he came to swim in Neretva river. The people of MOSTAR didn't know his intentions. They would surely tell him about the underwater creatures, but since he didn't know about it, he put his clothes on the rock and jumped into the water. He didn't show up again. For a few days swimmers searched for him, but they couldn't find him. His clothes remained stacked on the rock. Locals say some strange creatures danced around his clothes every night, and with the first signs of daylight, they disappeared into the water. The days passed and everyone slowly began to forget the stranger. And then one day he suddenly appeared, dressed in clothes that he had left on shore. He wandered the streets and said nothing. Whoever would ask him what happened to him received no response. A strange man wandered around the city for a few days, empty-eyed and speechless, and then one day he headed north and disappeared. Legend says that on August 2nd he was abducted by underwater creatures who had released him when they found out that he was a stranger and didn't know the rules of the river, but provided that he could not tell what had happened to him. I wanted to tell you this story, although there is a danger that some Hollywood screenwriter will steal a Balkan legend and make a movie out of it, as they have done many times before. Never mind, come to MOSTAR, swim in the river Neretva, but not on the August 1st and 2nd. The old bridge is very interesting in the evening, and my advice to you is, when you come to visit the bridge, please visit the local restaurants called Cevapdžinice, whose specialties called cevapčići are becoming a legend.